Watch this, he never pulls the racket back. And that's exactly why his backhand is the one nobody wants to face. People tell me my backhand looks strong. The truth is, I almost never generate my own power with it. That's the whole point of this lesson, knowing when to borrow the opponent's force and when to add your own. My partner pushes fast at my backhand, watch, very fast. If I take a big backswing there, I get jammed and miss. Instead, I keep the hands quiet and release late. See, it isn't that I finished a big stroke. It's that I never got jammed, and the force arrived concentrated at the end. I take the speed that's coming at me and simply give it a direction. That's borrowed power, and it belongs in almost every receive. Sidespin, topspin, sidespin, backspin, short balls, half-long balls, fast pushes, deep fast serves. Pure blocking only returns the ball. Borrowing and releasing returns it with quality. The second place it belongs is in the rally. When my partner is driving hard, if I try to generate on every ball, I'll miss inside 2 shots. Borrow instead, and we can trade endlessly at high quality. That's borrowing force and turning it into quality. My backhand is stable because I almost never supply my own power. Consistency is what makes a stroke good. A huge loop that never lands isn't a good stroke. Many players think if they rip one winner past a block, their forehand is good. It isn't. Landing the ball and winning points with it is good. There's nothing to borrow, so I can't generate anything, and the ball has no quality. Looked at that way, my backhand suddenly looks like a beginner's. So the whole thing is choosing correctly, at the right moment, between borrowing and generating. That's what matters. And yes, if you don't take a backswing, you're essentially borrowing. No backswing means no stored energy, so you're living off the incoming speed. Now let's play a few points, and I want you to count how many shots in the rally are genuinely my own power. Watch the exchange closely. Notice how little the racket travels back. The bat stays out in front, elbow relaxed, wrist quiet. I meet the ball early, just after the bounce, with the racket angle closed over the top of it. All I do is guide the ball forward and let its own speed come off my rubber. There's no wind up, so there's no stored energy to release. Count the shots where I truly generate power myself. 1, 2, 3. The answer is none. Not a single one. Every ball in that rally was borrowed force. Next, let me show you the difference directly. Watch this exchange. I'm generating on every ball. Power, 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 power. Now watch the borrowed version. See how close the racket stays to my body. There's no space, no backswing, nothing stored. I'm not swinging at all. I just take the speed coming at me and hand it a shape. If you try to wind up on every one of these, you will miss, anyone will. Compare the two on screen. The generating version has a big arc behind the ball and a long finish. The borrowing version is compact, contact right in front, the racket angle doing the work instead of the arm. Now watch, I serve sidespin backspin. He loops it up, and I have to loop back against a spinning ball. Watch my racket here. I turn it over and release, over and release. That's the change. The type of ball decides how I play it. Notice that the first ball is only a block. That doesn't mean I've lost the exchange. Look, on the second ball I've adjusted, and now I can genuinely generate. Now, let the incoming ball decide for you. Some of you ask, if borrowing is so good, why do I still tell you to open up the backswing? Because the open backswing is for the ball you must win outright. Say I serve, and he long pushes to my forehand. If that push is low quality, of course I swing the arm out and rip it. Watch, I get set on the forehand and I go. But if he pushes it heavy and deep, I don't take a backswing at all. You need both abilities. That's the whole choice. And you must be able to make it instantly. If you never take a backswing, you can never generate, and then you have no finishing shot either. That's just as wrong. Then, so why did I only use about 40% on that ball? Because the push came to my backhand side, slightly wide, and my feet were a step behind my hands. So instinctively, I brushed a bigger arc over the ball to protect it. Now if the same push comes to my forehand position, watch, that one I can hit with 70 or 80%. But against backspin on the backhand side, would I ever use 70 or 80? Never. The risk is far too high. Against backspin, I win with spin first, not with speed. If he blocks that one back, I know I can't out-rally him. Once, twice, 3 times. If I've lost 3 rallies in a row, then I change from that backhand technique to this one, adding maybe another 20 or 30%. Land it first. If he already can't block my spin, why force more power? Extra power only costs me control. Spin it on, keep it on the table, let him fail. So remember this number. Against backspin, your basic loop should not exceed 50% force. But think about a real match. Look, is that ball stable or not? Stay under 50%. If you come out swinging full power and miss twice, you've burned your feel for the whole match. Suddenly it's 3-1, 4-1 down, and now how do you play? Second game you come out and miss 2 more. This way is stable, and it's absolutely enough to win. So my principle is this. Whatever the ball is, good or bad, on the opening backspin balls, I never loop above 50%. The start of the match matters. After that, if your serve carries sidespin and backspin, defend mainly by pressing and covering the ball. Against topspin, never go beyond 70%, that's your ceiling, and it's already plenty. Push past that and control disappears, and errors follow. Moving on, so, topspin, no more than 70%. Remember that. When can you actually go full power? Only when you're far behind or far ahead, 10-4, 9-5, that's when you gamble and take a swing. Even then, I'd rather you didn't do it often. Every time you swing full at a key moment, your arm loses its reference point. The more you overpower, the more your hand drifts, and the worse your touch gets later in the match. That's the key. Power costs you feel, and feel is what wins the close games. Next, so how do you actually control the amount of force? Watch. Here's 100%. Now 80. Now 60. Now 40. Now 20. Now 0. Same arm, same grip, same contact point. What changed? Now, think about nunchucks against a plain stick. The nunchuck hurts more because the second segment snaps. Whether your ball explodes depends on that snap. On a very heavy, very spinny ball, I might only take it on top and stay compact. I still contract the forearm, but small. Now here's the answer. I adjust force through the speed of the stroke. Watch the same forehand drive. Slow. A little faster. Faster. Faster again. The quicker the arm, the more power comes out. Is it stroke size? Is it swing amplitude? Is it some special form? None of those. It's the tempo of the movement. Faster again. Faster again. Notice the stroke is identical. Same shape, same size, same finish. Only the speed changed. Now look at serve and attack. If I want that ball on the table more often, I have to hold the stroke together, keep it steady, and slow it down. If I want power, I contract sharper and quicker. So to control force, don't just swing wildly. Don't push your stroke to its maximum speed and frequency. Do that, and the power becomes controllable. The mistake is using one tempo for every ball. If his ball is heavy, I slow down. Watch a heavy push, so I brush it, I hold the stroke, and my tempo stays slow. Is that fast? Look carefully. Held together. If his ball is weak, then I accelerate through it. That one has to be compact. So how do you control power? Your stroke speed adjusts to the quality of the incoming ball. The shape stays exactly the same. Faster and tighter gives you a heavier ball. Slower and looser, and the power never comes out. Just be careful, when players try to control force, the stroke degrades into a poke. Control it, but never just tap at it.